Hi everyone, welcome back to Eleanor's Restoration. Now on video 12, what I'm going to focus on is stripping down the front subframe. I've built a small platform here just with pallets. It's quite a handy height to work with and it's quite stable, it's not falling off that. What I plan to do is just go by step what I'm going to do to remove each part from the subframe to the bare shell, if you like. This whole side's still in complete assembly here, so I'll go through that. What bushes, what washers, what nuts is all there. I have taken some of the other side off. Unfortunately, when I lost footage last time, that was some of the footage I lost, but luckily the side I'm going to do is the same as that side, so nothing will be missed. Once I've done that, I'll be able to see what parts I can replace and what parts I can refurbish. The new subframe's sitting up here near enough ready to go. I have to go over a few bits with a final coat of paint, but other than that, that's ready to go. So, I have looked on YouTube and basically I've seen a few good videos with assembly of them. I've not seen any of them stripped, so hopefully I can cover anything that anyone's missed and take it from there. It does look rusty. Hopefully there'll be a few parts I will be able to salvage. I think I showed you in the last video the other side is in the same condition. You can see the bottom arm down there. It's not the best light, unfortunately. It's quite rusty. The other side was the same and that has been refurbished just by using the wire wheel and repainting. I've still to put the bushes in, but I'm going to put a mass order in and get that all ordered at the same time. Right, so the first thing I'm going to take off is the battery cable. I'll need a new battery cable and the new one anyway. I cut through in one of the earlier videos and it looked a bit tatty. But it's getting in the way as well. Once it's out of the way it'll be a lot clearer. So the end here sits at the front engine, goes onto the starter motor. If we can follow that back, goes on to these, which I've been told are called P-clips, attached on one point here, another point here, and underneath the subframe, we'll get a better look in a minute. It comes up and this is a screw coming through here. If you then follow it round here, that's what goes into the channel that's welded to the underside of the car, all the way back, and that's the terminal that's connected to the battery in the boot. So just a case of getting these P-clips cleaned and hopefully they'll come off with ease. So I've got the subframe on its side now. The front P-clip here attached underneath, just a bolt, so get that set up and get that off. The second one is a screw, goes through the other side, and the third one appears to be a screw through there, so don't know if that's on purpose or if typical Mini it's been replaced over the years. They're all slightly different, but they're all coming off. Just give them a wire brush before they come off. 27 years of oil and dirt and grease, which I'm hoping has stopped it rusting and keeps it going to come off. Yeah, so that's just 2 Phillips screws and a bolt. This could be one of the easiest jobs I've done on the Mini, but I've seen that and said that before and it's all went horribly wrong. I'm guessing this has been added on because it's metric, it's coming in at an 8mm bolt. This last clip here, there's a spacer on here. I'm sure there's a good explanation for that, just to keep the cable away from the back of the engine. I don't know, someone out there will probably know, but just need to remember it's the last one that's got the spacer on it. And then it's just the same as the other one, it's not got a bolt in the back, it's just a screw. Because of the spacer, it's obviously a longer screw. So what I'll do is I'll just keep all these parts in a tub and label them, just so I know what goes where. It's the little things that trip you up towards the end. Same with the bolt on the top here. Managed to get somebody to hold the nut at the back while I get this loosened off. So bolt and washer, and it just pulls through, and that's the battery cable. Because there's an overlap in the Mini's making it, Eleanor's 1990, there's two different cables when you look on the Mini shops. One's for up to 1990 and one's from 1990 to 2000. I think there's a difference of about 5 inches in length. So I'm just going to have to measure this one and see which one's going to be the right one for this. And as I mentioned before, I do plan to put a list of all the parts that I'll take for the subframe, along with prices and the codes for them, just to make it easier. It's quite a lot when you start digging into washers and everything to look for individually. Hopefully it'll help someone out there and make it an easier job than what I've had. So the holes that came out, the one that was done with the bolt on this is looking from the subframe, so you're looking from the bottom. This was the screw on the top and the bolt and washer on the underside. The other two screw from this side going, so the screw was facing from the bottom going up towards the engine, and that was just a small screw. Then the hole down here, again the screw coming from this side going up, it was a longer screw with the spacer in it. It's surprising how the small details, when they go back in, you think, oh, where did that go? But if you do it the way it came out, you know that it's going to go in. And I'm sure you could put it the other way, but then if it catches the engine, or if something catches and it doesn't sit properly, it's just not worth the hassle. So my plan is just to put it in the exact same way it came out, just to make my life that a little bit simpler. But I can get this back on its front now and get the battery cable lifted away. So 3 bolts undone, battery cable clear to be lifted away. I believe this was just through here to tuck it in and keep it tidy when I took it out. I believe it just goes 3 clips on the bottom and then just straight the way back. Keeps it underneath then and out the way of the engine, but see, it's a bit tidier once that's been moved away. And I'll measure that and let you know which size that was. So I measured it and it's 127 inches long for this one. So looked on one of the Mini sites, Bull Motif, the 127 inch one is the 1990 onwards. There's one that was done between 1985 and 1991 that's 134 inches, so this must have been fitted either later on or it's been fitted after the car was made in 1990. I'm going to store this away, albeit I'm getting a new one. I think they're about £40 to buy, but I'll keep all the parts so that when I order the new parts I can compare them. What I've done is I've just stuck them in a small bag here and tied it on here so that I know what's there, but I'm also going to make a list, so that'll be easy for that. So I'll get that stored away, and the next bit I'm going to look at just taking away the brake pipe that goes on the subframe here. So it comes from your passenger side here, obviously goes down underneath to the brake hose and to the caliper there. Unless they've been later fitted, all of them should be 7/16 fittings, and what I've been doing with these is I've been putting WD-40 on every few days, and we'll see if it comes away with that. So following that back, it goes along, it's held on by these two brake clips that should just prise off, they just slip on, but again they've been there 27 years. Comes around and it joins onto this two-way brake union here. So what I'm going to do at the moment is just attempt to undo the two brake union nuts at each side and then get this brake pipe freed up. Fairly easy to make up brake pipe if you've got the tools. I've got, as you can see, some clean stuff here. I've got a brake flaring tool and I've got a cutting tool, so I just need to order the brake unions, but we'll see how that all comes off, fingers crossed. So you can use just a normal 7/16, but I got one of these a while ago. It's just a brake spanner. Basically got the extra bit in here, so it gives it extra purchase. When it's on it, it slips over and goes on. But again, it depends on how rusted they are, and only one way to find out. At the end of the day, they're all getting replaced, but I'm just trying to do it the right way so that anyone that's doing this on the car can see how it's done. Worst case scenario, I'll cut it off and just look at that, but I am trying to do things the right way before cutting. Probably a lot of you out there betting before, saying, oh, that's never going to turn, that's never going to turn, and yeah, you could be right. Yeah. Yeah, that's completely turning in there. It's actually corroding away the actual head before it's even attempted to turn the actual screw. So my guess is the other side is going to do the exact same. Alright, so whoever was the betting one out there and says, oh, he's never getting that off, or oh, I'll get that off, no. No, I wasn't getting that off. I've tried the vice grips and it's just completely turning round here before it even goes, to try and manoeuvre the threads. No purchase at all. So it's getting sacrificed. I'm going to cut it just with some pin snips, and I'm still going to try a socket set over the top to see if I can get it off, but at the end of the day the nut here screws off over the top of that anyway, so it's not going to make any difference, albeit I don't like being defeated, but sometimes you just know when to quit. So there you go, that's that cut there. Just for my own sanity, I'm going to try and get this off because it was annoying me. But once that's clipped off, simply pushes free from these clips. There we go. So think you can buy this for about 11 or 12 pound, but you can also buy a 25 feet reel for 11 pounds. So if you've got the tools, it makes sense to do it yourself. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'll cover that in a video just to show you how I do it. So now that's off there, I will get that off. These two clips here ping off. I think these are 12 pence each, but again I'll list all that. You can see these are with black gloves, and you can see one side clips on the subframe, the other holds the brake pipe, and there was just two of them spaced evenly apart. So there we go, that's the brake pipe removed. The two-way union, just need to get this banjo bolt off here. Hopefully that's better than the other side. Also that's the one I took off a minute ago, and this is the one that takes us up to the master cylinder. So if I can get this off, you can see previously I've cut the flexi hose here, so once I get underneath this you'll be able to see what fittings are under here. You can imagine what a nightmare this will be once the engine's in, try to do this on the car. Right, give this a go. It's a 5/8. That size is very commonly used on this bit. So it wasn't as bad, took a wee bit to get off, but see what comes off here. It's the banjo bolt, so it's got a hole in it that lets the fluid pass through it. And I'll obviously keep all this together, but you can see the washer in here. I have got a diagram that I've taken a photograph from many spares that I can upload just to see how the sequence goes in. All it is basically a union that joins two bits of pipes together and allows it to go into the flexi hose. So the two bolts here, rusted solid as usual. When you turn it, it is turning, but it's obviously turning the underside as well. It's just completely turning this. There is a bolt here, but it's just starting to round, so what I'm going to do, just put some WD-40 on. So we'll leave that there for a few days, let the WD-40 sink in. If it's not going to come off, might need to try some heat, otherwise cutting it, but I'm trying to do it without cutting, and the way I would do it as if I was just replacing the parts, but we'll see how that goes. Just like to say thanks for the subscriptions for everyone. I'm nearly up to 200 now, which is great for doing something I enjoy doing. You know, it's not how I intended to start out. I just thought I'd share what I was doing, but it's nice to see that people's enjoying it out there, and also the comments I'm getting is quite nice as well, so thanks very much. I've said numerous times before, I'm not a professional, I just enjoy this, love doing it. I'll also say a wee shout out to Sean C. His 1977 restoration is looking good. It's good to see a strip down from the start, and let's keep an eye out for that one. He stays not too far from me, so hopefully I'll get to come and have a wee visit some point. So yeah, cheers for that, thanks guys, bye.